if you don't come play with us, then we will kill you.
What's up, my kings and queens? How y'all doing? How was y'all 3-day weekend? My bad, I haven't been posting. I didn't post this weekend, but I have to get used to it. Gotta get used to posting on the weekends. But anyways, welcome back to another episode of Get Scared Straight with Gordonino. And today we're gonna be watching 4 videos from I believe it's 4 different people, but I'm not sure. And yeah, man, let's jump right into it. The first one is called The Moonlight Man by Danny Donahue. I think that's how you say it, but I'm not sure. Alright, let's jump into it. Let me check if it's recording. Alright, bet. Y'all think it's gonna be scary? We're gonna rate them now. We're gonna rate them out of 10. Oh, hell no. It's got a little bit of cakes, I'm not gonna lie. What? Ugh. He has your keys, bro. Tell me she's calling like a friend. She's calling like a friend instead of the police. I'm like mad.
Are you serious?
It's gonna be right in front of her. Uh-oh. Gonna turn around and be like, rah, rah. What you gonna do with that? Open your door and get your phone. Come on, man. There you go. Found him. Huh? What? What? I guess. I mean, to be honest, that wasn't even that scary. I'll give it like a 2 out of 10. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right, on to the next video. Bruh. Alright, so the next video is do not watch this video at night. If this is the name, should I watch it? I don't know. Let's see some comments. The scariest part was when the screen turned black and I saw my face in the I'm trying to hide in the comments, but the whole screen is still seeable. Alright. Wasn't so scary, just my ears bleeding. Alright, I'm gonna lower it a little bit. What is this? 12-minute video of just... Alright, let's... Okay. Rules. Lights off. Headphones on. No hiding in the comment section. Alright. I got all of those on. I gotta turn off this light because, you know. Ugh. Ugh. Ah, shit. So just a bunch of pictures? Ugh. Hey, she's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. Is that a clown? Me when they bury me.
Please clap.
Alright, hey, just imagine walking down the street. Let's say it's like 6:37, you know, when the sun is like already down, but you can still see a little bit. And then you're just like walking down the street, and then you kind of like see this in the corner of your eye. Oh, hell nah. I'm sucking her out. Oh, shit. That's just the wind. Ugh. That looks like a super dope mask. In hell, help me. Oh, dude, I know this picture. This is from like that Russian sleep experiment. Dude, that was sad. If y'all didn't watch the movie, that's sad, bro. It's such a scary, not scary, but you know, it's a sad movie. Yeah. Level complete.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Level 2. This is the shit that they mess with your headphones. It is. Y'all put on some headphones. You're gonna be able to hear what I'm hearing. Ugh. They should have put an image or something. Ah, the heck?
Bruh.
That was it for level 2? That should have been like level 1. What the heck? Gifts. Yes. You're supposed to pronounce it gifts, not gifs. If you put a T between the F and the S, what do you say? Gifts. Or gifts, right? I brought you this gift. Not gift. Dumbasses that don't know how to pronounce that word. Alright, level 3. The fuck was that? Oh shit, look at that. Damn. The fuck? They should have put some like noise on this. Hey, that was kind of creepy. Ugh. Ah, okay, that was a basic trick. Trust me, I'm better at that than y'all are. That little knocking sound effect. I'm gonna be right behind her. Is the is it like the was it simplicity? I guess the simplicity of horror. Basically, when you don't know where something's behind you or something like that, like, you know, it scares you. like the camera angle, like legit imagine if I had my face right here, like the whole camera zoomed into my face, and then the minute I move away like that, something else scares you. That's basically like the unexpected. So I feel like I've trained myself to take that. Oh, okay, that one was kind of creepy. I think just because of the noise they added. That one, nah. Aw, little girl playing with her little. And there comes someone to ruin the day. That the Joker? What movie is that from? I feel like I've seen it. Level complete. Man, we're barely 5 minutes into the video. Alright, videos now. Ugh. And he's gonna turn back around and there's gonna be something there, huh? Told you. Oh damn, that's actually good acting. Damn. Hey, I heard that happens when you have like what is it? Lucid dreaming? Or something like that. Like your dreams are very vivid and then you start like imagining things like that. And I don't know if I've been through that, but that's some shit that will mess with me heavy, bro. Hell no. But I also heard that you could use it in a good way, you know, like it's actually a cool thing to use. I don't know. Should look like a porno of glory hole. Something's gonna jump out. Let's prepare ourselves for this engagement.
Right outside the door.
Bro, why would you like open it, check, and then close it, turn your back, and then oh, that is kind of creepy, I won't lie. But why are people just nah, they had to edit that. Nah, but that'd be scary, bro. Uh, like imagine just like minding your own day and shit. Like you end up being, man, why do I look so red? Okay, well yeah, bro. Like imagine just like minding your own day, your own business and shit, and like just going home or something, and then you see like something sad like that happen. Like you see someone like commit suicide in front of you, bro. Dude, I wouldn't know how I would act, bro. Like that's some scary ass shit right there. Like if that's real, that sucks. But like I feel like this is just edited, you know? Bro, cameras, I mean, softwares are so amazing now. Like, yeah. Oh, is it real? I don't know. Yeah, she's there. I see her again. Ugh! Okay, yeah, that has to be edited then. Is this the one? Bro, I'm not gonna cap. This one does scare me. Like, okay, let me give you the behind the story. I mean, behind the video. So this guy, he like works in a forest or like in the hills or something like that. And like, so he got noise complaints because some lady was like screaming or something like that. So he went to go check it out. He's like the police or like the one in charge. So he drove out and like went to go check. And then he sees a witch, I don't know. But her screams are like, ugh, like, you know, they give me chills. So look, check it out. Just be careful, man. I'm telling you, it's something you never forget about. Look. Look at how she walks, bro. Look. Those screams get me, bro. Just wait. Oh, then I'm tripping, dude. I really remember seeing a different video, like exactly the same, and she screams. Or is it here? There you go, bro. Oh, no. Hell nah. You got me fucked up with that. Shit. You made me oh. Damn, let me talk, motherfucker. If I saw that witch, I'd immediately just be like, hey, bro, I quit my job. I don't give a fuck. Don't pay me for this week. I'm out. This is where the ear raping comes in. How far did you make it? Oh, I made it through all of it. That was light work. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was way better than the first one, but it wasn't that scary. Bruh. This one is called I Had the Most Horrible Experience While Doing Amazon Delivery. Hey man, I feel like I know some people that do delivery, and if you do, just be careful, because those night deliveries, like those late nights, because I didn't know Amazon delivered past like 8 or something like that, or maybe that was from Newegg. I don't remember. But when I built my PC, like they legit dropped it off like at 9, 10 of the night, bro. And like if you work at night delivering shit, bro, be careful, because some shit is scary as fuck. Like dead ass.
My name is Nikki and I'm 19 years old. This past December, I got myself a Christmas temp job working at Amazon, helping with deliveries. It gets pretty busy around that time for deliveries, obviously, because it's Christmas. Right away, I hated the guy I was helping with deliveries. His name was Frank. To describe him, he was a bit overweight, didn't shave well, and his hair was short. I didn't like him because he was very rude and seemed like he was in a bad mood all the time. And I would be in the van with him most of the time, making deliveries, and it was very awkward. I tried to make conversation with him, but like I said, he was very rude, and there was no point in trying after about 2 times. I thought about quitting, to be honest, or at least be with a different delivery driver, but I didn't want to cause any trouble. I was a temp after all and needed this job. I thought Frank was really rude and socially awkward and not a nice person to be around, but I never thought he would harm me in any way. One evening after finishing deliveries, we were driving back to the Amazon warehouse, or at least that's where I thought we were going. Frank passed the turn where we always go to the warehouse. As I said before, we didn't really speak, so I wasn't about to question him. He would probably snap at me anyway. After he continued driving, the more obvious it was to me he was taking me to another place. And it wasn't the warehouse. I finally asked Frank where we were going. He didn't snap at me, surprisingly. He just said we needed to run and do a quick errand. I was looking around my surroundings, and I could see that we were around empty fields and abandoned farmhouses. At this point, it was getting dark outside. Frank then pulled up next to a tall, overgrown, and unkempt cornfield. He said to me in a very firm voice to stay exactly where I was. "Don't move." Frank then got out of the car and started walking up into the dirt road, disappearing into the dark of night. 10 minutes went by. I sat in the van by myself in the dark and had no idea where I was. My phone was in the warehouse in the locker, as we weren't allowed to have our phones during work hours, so I couldn't even go on my phone or use it as a light source. I needed to pee and couldn't hold it any longer, so I got out of the van and headed into the cornfield to do my business. After doing so, I started to walk back towards the van. In the near distance of the cornfield, I could see flashlights. 2, in fact. I found that really odd, as the whole area seemed to be abandoned. As I got closer to the van, I could hear a sort of heated argument going on between Frank and another man whose voice I couldn't recognize. I couldn't see him either. I heard the other man say, "Where is she? You said she was in the van." Frank then told the man that she was just in there, and she has to be around here somewhere. The other man said to Frank, "If we don't find her, you're a dead man." That's what those flashlights were. Those men were already out in the cornfield searching for me. I snuck off into the field, walking quickly but as quietly as I could, the whole time crying and thinking I was about to die. After walking far enough, eventually leaving the cornfield, I ran down the side of a long dirt road. I have no idea for how long, but eventually I came across an old diner which was still open, thank God, and the manager called the police for me. After this incident, I quit my job, but this wasn't the end of it. About 2 weeks after quitting my job, I got a call from my boss who employed me. He told me that I was the last one to see Frank, as no one has seen him since.
Damn.
Apparently there were rumors that he owed people money from gambling debts, the people you don't want to be in debt with. As much as I don't like to think about it, I'm pretty sure Frank's way of paying off his debts with those people was to hand me over to those men. And what those men had planned to do with me, I never wanted to imagine.
Damn, man. Dude, that's something like that really sucks for women, bro. Like, I mean, men get kidnapped too, but like, I feel like it's way more prone to happen to women, and it sucks, dude. Like, you know, we shouldn't live in a world where men wanna, like, you know, kidnap. I mean, women kidnap too, but you know, like, women shouldn't be living in that fear, man. Kidnapping is actually really bad, and it's scary, dude. Like, you know, you could just be minding your own business, and the next thing you know, like, your whole life changes because now you're being sold off. You're being like using as a sex slave and stuff, bro. Like, that's scary as hell. So yeah, on to the next video, man.
Bruh.
Alright, guys, so this next video, I think this is gonna be the last video, it's called "I Went in the Wrong Ride" by the same guy, One C Entertainment. And yeah, we'll see what's up. I'll probably maybe squeeze in one more video. You know, I like watching videos like this. All right, let's watch it.
This is not about my story, but someone from my church, and he wanted to share his experience with anyone else. He's a 32-year-old man, and his pseudonym is Mark. He's a fairly big guy, and this situation took place when he was on his way home from work. He said that he had lost his phone 1 week before this whole situation happened, so he couldn't call and get any help during this story. It was quite late, around 11 p.m. He had finished work and was walking to a taxi stop location, and when he got there, a few people were standing around waiting as well. After about 2 minutes, he noticed that there was a minivan approaching. Usually minivans are cheaper than taxis, and he felt tired that day, so he decided to take the minivan. He sat on a seat and there was a young boy seated in the passenger side next to the
Aw.
driver who was collecting the fare. And then, 2 other boys who looked like teenagers also boarded the minivan and sat in the seats in front of him. Once the minivan took off, after about 5 minutes, the boy asked if they would like to drink some Coke. The boys accepted and started drinking. And they also gave it to Mark. Mark was also feeling thirsty, so he took it, but only a sip. Not much later, he started feeling drowsy.
Oh, hell
Just
no.
before he about laid his head on the seat beside him, he noticed that those 2 boys were already knocked out. After he laid his head down, he heard noises coming from the back seats. 2 people were talking in a different language. The car was passing a big signboard that showed Crest Chicken Farm. And then he finally passed out.
Damn.
When he got up, he found himself inside a big shed-like barn, and there were some tools on a big table. He was on the floor, and the other 2 teenage boys were laying next to him. He still felt a bit drowsy, but he managed to get himself up as he was looking for an escape. He saw that the 2 boys were still passed out, so he tried waking them, but they wouldn't budge. As Mark was kind of a big man, he tried to see if he could carry one of them, but it was hard to do because even Mark was having a hard time to stand properly. And then he heard voices. He took a peek from the door, and 3 people were walking toward the big shed, coming from a house
Damn.
on the hill, which was quite close to the shed. Mark panicked and tried to look for another exit. He was looking around the place, and he found one at the end of the shed, luckily. He approached quietly and escaped as fast as he could. At this point, his vision was all blurry, but he managed to find a fence door and unlocked it. He heard the people shouting, but he ignored. He just kept on running. When he finally reached his house, it was early morning, around 5 a.m. His wife was up all night waiting for him and ran out the front door as soon as she saw him. He collapsed and slept for almost the whole day. When he woke up and finally got a chance to explain to his wife what had transpired that night, he remembered about the other 2 boys who were still there. Then he contacted the police immediately. He told the police about the road signs and a big billboard for Crest Chicken Farm and other things that he could remember. About 2 weeks after, there was a police report about how they found 2 teenage boys' bodies in a lake and advised that when they examined the bodies, all their organs were missing.
Oh, damn.
Mark just stood in fear. And as the event was too traumatic for him, Mark had to quit a job for a while.
Dude, that's scary. Damn. I don't know, like, you guys ever think about shit like that? You know, like, I mean, I normally think about shit like this because after watching videos like this, but yeah, man, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I would panic in a situation like that. Like, if I was stuck inside a cabin, like, you know, if someone had, like, kidnapped me or something and I was stuck inside a cabin, I wouldn't know what to do. Of course, like, I would want to find a weapon or something, like, you know, to beat the fuck out of whoever kidnapped me because I don't have any mercy for them. But still, like, you know, you never know who's around them, you know, who like, what other people, like, imagine it was, like, 6 other people that were waiting for him to come back, and then they notice, like, he's not coming back, and they go and check on you and shit, and then, like, you're right there surrounded by 6 people. I don't know. I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. But yeah, man, on to the next video. I promise, bro, one more video.
Bruh.
Alright, so this last episode, for sure, last episode is, or video, film, whatever, is called The Night Shift by Animated Horror Flicks. Haven't checked this out, so let's check it out. The Night Shift.
I don't usually hold back when it comes to talking about my job, which was working security at the sub-level of a local hospital.
Ah, fuck no.
You'd be surprised to know how common break-ins were at that place.
That's like the start of every fucking amazing horror game. Either they break into an abandoned hospital, or they work at a hospital, man. Like,
which usually ended up being a couple of junkies trying
all
to
red
get high on
flags.
some of the weird chemicals that were being kept in the labs. It started out as a regular graveyard shift at work, but I'll lead in with a curious backstory regarding the doors that led to the morgue. In order to keep the place more sanitized, they had recently installed sliding doors that would automatically open if someone passed in front of them, thus removing the need to touch any handles or doorknobs, and prevent anyone from leaving the doors open by accident. Hygiene played a major role at that morgue, and it had been on the agenda for the past few months. There wasn't anything really unique about the sliding doors, except for the fact that they would sometimes open and close by themselves.
Little
That
fly
by
or
itself
something.
didn't seem like such a big deal, since this could have been caused by something small such as a moth flying in front of the sensor. Until one night, I realized that it would always happen at the same time. Every night, at exactly 3 AM, the doors would open for a few seconds and then close. I was convinced that the doors had been programmed with some kind of time-based trigger, but when I contacted the company that installed the doors, they told me that it wasn't possible since the doors were designed only to open when the sensors were triggered or forced open manually. So it continued without any explanation for a long time after that, and became sort of a ritual for me and my co-workers to watch the doors open and close on the monitors every night. Usually there would be at least 2 guards on duty, but that night I ended up working the graveyard shift by myself because the other security guard suddenly became ill and there wasn't enough time to find a temp who could fill in at such short notice. Just to be clear, I had been working as a security guard for a long time, so I was no stranger to danger and I wasn't worried about working alone at night. Besides, the work was pretty straightforward. All I had to do is make sure all the doors were locked and secured and keep a close eye on the monitors. There were only 2 cameras, one overlooking the control room and another one at the other end of the corridor overlooking the entrance to the morgue. As the clock approached 3 AM, I did what all the guards on duty would do: sit back and enjoy the show. Although the novelty of seeing this phenomenon had long worn off, it was still something I would anticipate and would often give me the chills, seeing how it was the entrance to the morgue and that you could sense a sudden rush of cold air every time the doors would open, even from the other end of the corridor. I watched patiently as the doors opened, followed by the howling rush of cold air that could be heard from under the door. It was when I glanced away from the door and looked to the monitors that I noticed something strange. The doors remained open. At first I thought it might be a glitch with the monitor and I was simply looking at a frozen frame, but then I saw the lights flicker. I waited for a few minutes, but it soon became clear that I would have to head on down to the end of the corridor since it was strictly prohibited for the doors to the morgue to remain open. As I stepped out into the corridor, I acknowledged a significant drop in temperature which I knew was going to get considerably worse as I approached the morgue. I gradually made my way down the corridor and turned the corner that ultimately led me to the sliding doors. I had hoped that the doors might have closed by the time I got there, but just as I had seen on the monitor, the doors were in fact still open and the camera was functioning normally. I tried waving my hands in front of the sensor, but to no avail. The doors would not budge. I reluctantly contemplated my next option, which was to test the sensors from the other side, requiring me to enter the morgue. But I decided to take a look around first to see if I could observe anything out of the ordinary. Only when I turned my back to observe the corridor did the doors finally close, which was quickly accompanied by a cold chill in the air. I could feel an overwhelming sense of someone standing right behind me as the hairs on the back of my neck began to spike. But it turned out to be more of the same eerie silence as before. Since the doors had already closed without having to actually enter the morgue, I considered myself fortunate and hurried back to the control room to make sure nothing else was out of place. I closed the door and locked it from the inside, and for a moment I was expecting it to be business as usual as I sat back down in front of the monitors. But after taking a quick sip of my coffee, I realized the coffee was stone cold. Not just lukewarm as you would expect, but genuinely chilled. I hadn't been away from the desk for that long, so it didn't make much sense at all. But then I remembered that I had felt that same chill before at the other end of that corridor. Out of curiosity, I decided to rewind the security footage back to when I approached the doors to see if I could spot anything out of the ordinary, which is when I witnessed something that I simply couldn't explain. There was a girl standing in front of the doors behind me. I couldn't really make out her face due to her long black hair that was a stark contrast to the white gown she was wearing. She just stood there staring right at me and then walked towards the exit. To this day, I can't explain it, because I had just been there and I hadn't seen anyone. It was when I checked the other camera overlooking the entrance to the control room that really sent a chill down my spine and still gives me nightmares to this day.
That was a little cheesy ass fucking jump scare.
When the lights came back on, it was as if nothing happened. The door to the control room was open despite being locked from the inside just moments before. Due to the mysterious power surge, most of the data on the drives had been completely corrupted. But some of the security footage did survive, and I've been holding on to it ever since. I guess now would be the time to ask yourself, do you believe in ghosts?
They should have provided the video. Oh, dude, I didn't even rate the.
Bruh.
Oh, I'm trash at this. Alright, so let me see. Damn, I gotta go back to my history. Let me go back. Okay, this one I rated. I give it a 4 out of 10. It was cheesy as jump scare. Let me see. I don't know, dude. Honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember. So I'll say this whole entire little series, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't the scariest. Nah, I'll probably actually give you a 4 out of 10. It was alright, you know. Hopefully next week's or whenever I post again, the next episode is way more scary, because you know I like scary shit. But yeah, alright. Hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see y'all. And check out this new end card. Fire. Ready?